Okay.
My name's Cash.
I'm Mike. This is our special guest.
Flex Boss Wilson, aka Felix Wilson, aka Flex Boss Wilson.
Here we go. Let's do this. Okay, Flex, we know each other from the gym. I met you, I think it was, actually our daughters played soccer together.
Yes.
Soccer together. And it's funny because once I started seeing you at the gym, I saw you and I'm like, man, this motherfucker's big. This dude's in shape. But I didn't actually interact a lot with you until the gym.
Right.
At Pursue is where I first initially saw you, and then obviously FS. But let's start with the beginning. Let's start with who you are, where you came from, what makes Flex Boss the boss.
Well, once again, Felix Wilson. Everybody knows me as Flex Boss, Coach Flex. I'm originally from Alaska. Came out here from Alaska. Been here since 2008, 2009. Play sports, so I played basketball. That's what brought me out here. My sister came out and ran track at Lane, and then I wanted to play basketball, so I wanted to continue my journey into sports. So I came out and played at Lane Community College, played college basketball there, and then transferred to New Hope Christian College, and then I continued my career there, and then life happened. Married my wife. We've been married 12 years now, 13 years now, and
Good for you.
we have 3 kids. My oldest daughter is 15 now. She's a freshman in high school, and my son, he's 11, he's 5th grade, and then my youngest is 6 years old.
Yeah. So you got a handful.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. So, yeah, so that's why I kind of just pushed back and just really wanted to focus on my family, focus on my kids, and raising them right. And not, even though I still wanted to compete and be a collegiate athlete, I decided to step up to the plate and put my family first.
There you go. That's what it's all about.
That was my mindset. So
yeah. So tell me, because you and I and Cash here, he's from Alaska, by the way. You and I and Cash, we're not the tallest kids on the block.
We're not.
So how did that? How was that in basketball? Because basketball, you look at basketball athletics and you say, well, they're tall. They're in basketball.
Right,
they play basketball. Right. You're not short, but you're not tall.
Right. No, not at all. And
so you had competition.
Yeah.
You had to fight that competition.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it tests you mentally, tests you physically, and you got to find what your strengths are.
Yeah.
As us not being the tallest in the room or whatever, be the tallest. You got to find what's your advantage. What can your advantage be over a taller person? So our advantage is I can be quick, I can be fast, I can stay lower. So I just try to use my advantage, my advantages, and
so there's nothing holding people back.
No,
it's just a thing.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset thing, and people just try to believe in, I'm not tall, I can't do this, I'm not big, I'm not strong, or whatever. Okay, find out what you're good at, and then execute that. That's my motto. Like whatever you're good at, try to get better at that.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure you execute and be able to use your
fulfill that goal.
Yeah, fulfill that goal and use your advantage. So
yeah.
That's pretty much what I live by, and like I said, it's about your mindset, pretty much.
Yeah.
So your mindset is everything.
So it's never quit. Go ahead.
Nobody's born talented.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You got to put in the hard work.
Definitely. Like I said, look at the greats right now. LeBron, Michael Jordan, they all had to go through something. We all have to go through something. We all have to go through some kind of hurdle, some kind of construction in your road. And so that's what defines you. Everything doesn't come easy. So
yeah.
You got to define yourself, and that's how you define yourself.
Yeah. And that's the difference between people is being able to go past and beyond that, and not allow it to define who they are.
Exactly. And
what I mean is the other end of that spectrum, because oftentimes a person will look at like our height. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm too fucking short for basketball, so I'm not going to play it. So that right there, that hurdle defined me, so that put the brakes on it right there. Yeah. Even if I love basketball, which I don't, but
well, that brings another point. I played football as well too, and everybody defined me. I have a football body.
Yeah.
And they try to put that on me. I have a football body. I need to be playing football. I
Yeah.
like football, but that wasn't what I like to do it. But it's what I didn't. I like basketball over football.
Yeah.
So it kind of made it. You know, I'm proving people wrong. Like, I can still play. I can still play in the high school level. I played at a collegiate level.
Yeah.
I still did it. You know, I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I kind of proved them wrong a little bit, and that's and you like I said, you can define that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, prove them wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
So let me ask you, and I asked Devin this question on a podcast we did the other day.
Yes.
As a black male, from a pure socioeconomic status perspective, do you think that young men and women of color are conditioned to believe that athletics is all they're capable of doing?
Well,
from a societal standard.
I mean, I feel like like I said, once we're playing a big role, we get caught up proving it that we can do something, because as in society, or how per se this world is kind of built, we had to always prove something.
Yeah.
I felt like we have to always live by it. We have to prove something and do our best at something to make it seem, or not make it seem like, but let it be known that we are capable of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, and I think
beyond that though but do you think that that's an issue, that beyond athleticism, they don't necessarily, and it's not something that is like, okay, let's teach you to be a rocket scientist or something within black communities. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's geared towards more entertainment factor, mm-hmm. rapping, mm-hmm. movie star, athleticism. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Right, and in my eyes, it's kind of in a sense racism. Mm-hmm. You know, because basically we're putting people in this box that says, mm-hmm. you're my entertainment, mm-hmm. and that's all you're capable of. Right. Do you feel that at all? Or do you see that? Do you recognize it from a black male perspective? You
definitely recognize it, and you see it. And even with today, NFL, NBA, yeah. I mean, even NBA, baseball, MLB, you know, everything is pretty much entertainment. That's how, I mean, per se, it's all the way back to our ancestors. I mean, that's the environment we were kind of put in.
Yeah.
So even when you're growing up, and they say, where you're raised at, that's how
you get out.
This is how you get. That's pretty much your way out.
Yeah.
I mean, either through athleticism. A lot of people do basketball, football, and now it's even back then it was rapping, and now it's still it's still coming. Like, that's a way to stir away from the negative that's brought up, or how we've been brought up, and that's just how it is. I mean, there's no sugarcoating that at all. That's just.
Which is unfortunate. Right. Which is unfortunate. Mm-hmm. Even though there's a level of success, mm-hmm. there, like with Devin, his breaks were boom like that. He had heart issue, so no more. That dream is out the window.
Right.
So, and I think that's a problem, because there's a limit to what you can do. For how long can you do this? Mm-hmm. Unless you reinvest in yourself, mm-hmm. in money, in all financials, all that. Athleticism can only take you so far for so long.
Right, I can agree to that, and same thing.
Which is sad. It's sad.
Yeah, and that's what you feel like. That's the end of your tunnel, or your light, or what you can reach.
Like, you've peaked.
Yeah, that's it. But that's, like I said, that's what I per se say. That's what we kind of know, and we know what we're good at.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
You're led to believe.
Right. This is all this you got, all you have. But I mean, if you kind of reach outside that box, you're able to learn those different things. Learn those different things that you weren't, like, per se learn in school, or as parents, grandparents didn't know how to teach us things that they didn't even know.
Yeah.
So we, now that we have a wider kind of, you got internet, social media, and then those things, you can kind of meet new people and be able to learn those things and embrace your knowledge on those things. So that's good for us. But it's like, as we were growing up, I don't think my parents or their grandparents and them those things weren't be able to show us those things. So they're like, hey, you're good at this. Be your best
let's
at
do
it.
that.
This,
yeah.
this is what you're
Which is,
do.
there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with that.
Not at all.
I think from a society standpoint, it's wrong.
Right.
So tell me, your wife is white, right? So you have interracial children.
Yes.
How does that affect you, or does it affect you? Do you even recognize it at all? Because I also have an interracial relation. My wife is Fijian,
right.
So we have mixed kids, and to me, it's a non-issue.
Right.
It's a non-issue. I don't recognize it as anything but this is life.
Right.
Does it affect you at all?
It really doesn't, and
is it because you're not looking for it, or is it because you just it doesn't?
I mean, I don't look for it, but when I see it, I see it, and when I feel it, and that's the same thing with her. And this is something I really didn't, and which is what really had us. We have no issue of raising our kids.
Yeah,
she was brought up a different way, and I was brought up a different way. We never had an issue how we're going to raise our kids or how we're going to. But she always understood what it is.
Yeah.
She always understood. I didn't really have to break it down to her like this is gonna be issues here, this is and that. And so that right there was just like, it makes it easier, I should say, and there's ways I don't have to really look for it because she sees it, I see it.
Yeah.
And
so do you see it out in public?
All the time.
All the time?
All
okay.
the time,
So explain that to me. Go ahead.
Oh, did you have kids before you moved from Alaska?
No.
No? Okay. So you didn't see any growing up. Did you notice any? Because Alaska is very diverse, and you're from Fairbanks, right?
Yeah, Fairbanks.
Yeah. So I've never been there. Grew up, and I don't really know the diversity there, but in Anchorage is very diverse. So, did you notice more racism here as opposed to there?
Yeah. Was I knew, I've seen it, I felt it, I was known or brought knowledge, obviously by my parents, and this is what it's like. And my mom's, she always told me like, you pretty much, mom and dad always told me you pretty much have a 3-strike rule. I'm like,
yeah. So did that hurt your perspective, your view on life, or did it help?
It helped. It helped. At the same time, it kind of scared me.
Well, that's what I meant.
It kind of scared me
because all of a
first.
sudden you have your guards up.
Right.
So now you're looking for things rather than it happening.
Exactly, and that's what. And yeah, it opened my eyes and it scared me at the same time. Yeah. I'm like, okay, can I still reach my full potential, or do I have the same thing? I have to hold my guard up, or do I have to live in this? So for say a box, or there's only a limited ceiling for me or whatnot.
The glass ceiling, so to speak.
Am I allowed to make mistakes? Am I allowed to learn from mistakes? Am I allowed, how am I supposed to learn? How I'm supposed to grow? So it kind of, like I said, and put me in that mindset. I gotta prove people wrong. I gotta prove not only myself but other people wrong.
Now, was that out of spite? Sorry, Cash. Was that out of spite, or was that out of this is what's gonna keep me going?
That pretty much was gonna keep me going. Okay. Like I said, she said you got a 3-strike rule. You're a black male. Yeah. Or you're black and you're a male. Yeah. Don't give them 3 strikes.
Yep. Absolutely. And
so I'm like, I already got 2, so it's like I gotta live on the edge a little bit. But then you kind of understand how you can work around that. How can you, I don't think I've learned that since. I mean, it was tough moving away from home, moving away from Alaska, experiencing. I was in Colorado as well too. I experienced it out there as well too. It was kind of an eye opener. At the same time, I knew my mom and dad was talking about, and it just really opened it up a lot more. So
No, I was just gonna ask about if it was a driving factor, if that drove you to
succeed.
It did most definitely. And then just looking at the other, people we can look up to. I see that they have that same drive of what they do to provide for the family. Obviously, one day we're gonna have families. One day we're gonna have to learn how to provide for our families and be able to face on these issues that have been going on for years and years and years. And now I'm out the same thing with my kids. I speak on it with them as well too, especially my oldest daughter. I speak on it. Yeah. I'm not going to hide it, anything like that. This is something that you're going to have to go through. This is something that you're going to have to live with the rest of your life. It's not fair. It's not. Yeah. It's not. There's no hiding.
Well, and hopefully, this is my my hope is that like as we have more mixed children in life, that's when stuff should start to go better.
Right.
You know what I mean? The problem with some households, it's like even though you got a white parent and a black parent or a person of color and a white parent, it's like it's almost so often that the child will choose one or the other rather than being the catalyst of change. They perpetuate, in a sense, racism, the divide, because it's like, okay, I'm pro-black or I'm no, motherfucker, you're both. You're both. You're this is the generation that can bring us, everybody together.
Everybody,
You know, and it's funny. I have black mixed black nieces and nephews. I got half my family's half black mixed, and I've heard them talk about racism as far as like going to the store and being watched and followed and stuff like that. And I got a quick funny story that it's not funny. It could be whatever it is, but. So I went with my wife on a business trip, and we were on the coast, and she was doing her job. She's in sales, so she was doing her job, and I had to kill time. I had to kill like an hour. So I went into, and we're on the Oregon coast. I went into a hardware store, and of course I'm just walking around. I'm dressed similar to what I'm dressed right today. I had my bougie fanny pack on, so it's a Coach fanny pack. So that doesn't say anything. It's just this is what I looked like. And you can see I got tattoos. And I was in there. So I had to kill a lot of time. So I had to go down each aisle slowly. And almost every other aisle, I had a new person ask me if I needed help. And it didn't occur to me because there's three aspects of that. There's customer service. There's I have to protect my store, so maybe this motherfucker's casing the joint. And then the third aspect was this would be considered racism to a person of color, possibly. So it occurred to me why people potentially feel like, oh, they're judging me or they're, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you got to think of those other two factors that were customer service. That's their fucking job. You look lost. Can I help you find what you need? And two, is this motherfucker going to rob me? You know, that's real talk. I don't know this person. What, regardless of color, this motherfucker is casing the joint. You know what I mean?
Suspect,
yeah. So have you had that? Have you had that where it's like you go into a place and you feel like you're being stalked, so to speak, based on the color of your skin? And did it occur to you, rather than it being a racial thing, it was more like customer service, potentially, like their job is literally to fucking help me find what I need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I experienced those a lot of times, and and you get caught thinking like
you play victim.
Yeah, like I
victim.
said,
Is it a victim role?
You think of the same things you mentioned, like, okay, are you really trying to help me? Or are you just thinking I'm here to rob you, whatever you're thinking, or you think I'm really up to something or something like, okay, what's the case? And it all depends on how you come off, how are you approaching me? If you're approaching me, hey, how are you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? I see you something, coming up with that. Or then there's the other way, they just come up, can I help you? Okay, those are two different approaches. Like, okay, like I just got in here, like I just got here, so I just kind of look around, you know what I'm saying? So
well, and they have like the greeters at Jerry's and Walmart. Their first job is to be like, can I help you? Where can I lead you?
Exactly. So it's all about your approach and your tone and how your approach,
body
your
language,
tone, and body language for sure. And you can read body language. Like I said, you just know, and you just feel it, and you just know from those things. But sometimes it's like, okay, don't overthink.
And that's it. That's what what I was saying a minute ago. Is like a lot of people get into this victim role mentality where it's like, I'm a fucking victim, type of thing, and then it just feeds this idea that may not even fucking be there. Because a lot of people don't know how to interact with motherfuckers. They don't know. It's like, I'm not going to go to a fucking black neighborhood and feel comfortable. And it's nothing to do with necessarily racism, but it is. To a degree, everybody's racist. Everybody's racist. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm not going to a fucking rich white neighborhood either without having my guard up.
Right.
And that's just the way it is.
How it is.
It's the animal kingdom. We're just animals.
Right. And that's just like I said, this is how the world is built. And you just, like I said, you read body language, you read tones, and you just see how. Like I said, I always live by this as well too. If I show respect first, I respect this. I expect same respect back. If I feel disrespected, I'm sorry. Like I'm disrespect you right back. I mean, I try not to go that route, but hey, you know what I'm saying. Like, respect life. Is everything. Yeah,
that's life. We're men.
Right.
That's life. And everybody who knows me, I'm the very first person that will give the most respect to anybody. Definitely.
I could see that from the gate when I first met you, man. Like, and that's it's
just the way it is. That's how humans should be.
It should be. You said somebody's staring at you, looking at you. Like, I mean, like I said, you're gonna get some disrespect back. Like, this is how it is. So
So tell me about. We got really deep into that, and that wasn't initially. But I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did. It's a nice little foundation.
We can talk about this all week, man. It's just that's just how it is.
So you're really into bodybuilding. You're a bodybuilder. Yeah, you're a fucking badass bodybuilder too.
Appreciate it.
Where did it transition from football, basketball to bodybuilding? Where was that transition? At what age?
So what? 29, 28.
Okay.
So about 3 years ago.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, 3 years.
I thought you would have been doing a lot longer than that.
And sometimes I wish I did too, and like I said, I was at that, okay, I want to raise my family. I still want to be competitive in something. And I knew that basketball window was closing. It was definitely closing, but I still wanted to be competitive in some kind of way. And I figured out, I'm trying to figure out how can I be competitive, still try to support my family, and still have that competitive drive, and still not feel selfish at the same time. Like it's so hard to do. Like, I'm like, how can I really do this and really figure it out? And what can I fall in love with? What am I doing? And so my father was a bodybuilder. He tried to get me bodybuilding when I was 16, 15. I'm like, no, I ain't having it. I ain't about to be up there in no Speedos, not having it. I'm not doing that, man. Like, he tried to get me many, many years ago. I'm like, not doing it. And so it finally dawned on me, like, just give it a try, give it a shot. I mean, like, what's the worst that's going to happen, So I tried it. I think I did men's physique. I prepped for my first show, everything, just try to really just pretty much go off what I knew and stuff. And then I was asked my father the same thing, like, what's that? He's like, you just got to go out there and kind of figure it out for yourself. So I did it. Posing was terrible.
That's a fucking technique.
It is, and that's like I said. You learn from those. You learn from those. I wouldn't say failures, but mistakes or whatever. You just keep learning from those things. So for my first show, I think I placed fourth. I placed fourth overall. I was in the top 5, but that was not good enough for me. So
and that's currently where you're at right now, right?
What's that?
Fourth. Because in your voting poll.
Oh, in my voting poll, yes,
right
I'm
now.
currently fourth right now. Speaking on that, I am in a competition right now for the Mr. Health and Fitness. Get sponsored to the magazine. There's a cash prize at the end. I did do this last year, and I came runner-up last year. And it's it's all on people's votes. So
how can people vote?
So everybody can vote. I do have my Instagram, Flex Balls Wilson, or my Facebook is Flex Balls Wilson as well too. And there's a link. There's a link in my bio, and there's a link I've been posting daily. If you click that link, you can do it for free. Every 24 hours, you can vote for free. Put a new vote in there, so everybody
vote.
Get your votes out there, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And this is
how long is it? How long is it going for?
So it'll be till I believe like end of July. So we still got a while. It just started like a week ago. So. Yeah, you just get your votes in. It's all off votes, and and it'll be another stepping stone in my bodybuilding career. But going back to that, like I started off doing that, got fourth, and then I was like, this ain't good enough. So, and it's me a competitor. I wanted to go back and dive in. So I started reading up on stuff. I started, looking into things, started asking coaches questions and all these things, trying to really deep dive. And then, I talked to my family, my wife, and like, this is something I really want to do and really want to dive in. Like, obviously, I still want to be competitive. She's go for it. Let's see what we can do. So I trained up next year, came back, got second. And then I was like, "This is the same thing, not good enough." So
never good enough.
Yeah, never good enough. Then I kept training, kept learning, kept getting my knowledge up, and then I started getting first.
Nice.
And then now it's just very kind of addicting. Like it's really addicting now.
Because now you're on a big stage.
Yeah. I mean, now you're gonna be rolling with the big dogs. So it's like and that's what defines it, is the hard work, the dedication you got to put into it, and it's no easy route. There's no easy button to it. You got to put that hard work.
Well, and that's the thing that people
that mindset.
People don't know this about bodybuilding, that it's so fucking. It's like if you don't have almost an obsession, there's no fucking way you can do it. Just the eating alone.
Yeah.
Just the eating alone. Looking at bodybuilders, a lot of people see them in the gym. It's like, they're just lifting weights.
Right.
This is a fucking lifestyle. These motherfuckers breathe this shit.
Right.
Just 24/7. You got to stay on your fucking game.
Man, it's a marathon, man. It's a marathon. Like,
there
ain't no easy button.
Do you, you're a natural bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Is there at a point where you're like, I got to fucking gear up? Is there ever a level that you think you're going to get to where it's like, I got to fucking get on gear to get to that? Because, the big boys, they're all on gear.
Yeah, all on gear, especially. I mean, nowadays, I always got cues for it, and, they still to this day. I mean, it is what it is. I get used to it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And, they can think what they want. I know what it is, really is. My family knows what it is. So,
yeah.
And that's something, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been back and forth with it, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like I really don't need to go that route. I really don't need to, because that's not what defines me.
Yeah.
The trophies don't define me. How they judge me don't define me. Who I am is, the process of me trying to juggle my life and having my family support. That's a win for me always. And just seeing my kids, like, see me.
Because you're a role model.
Right. When they see me and they see what I go through, and even my youngest daughter, she's sitting there hitting all the poses and stuff, So just those things are accomplishments to me. And like I said, I want to be lying to you. I go back and forth sometimes, and I'm like, I get out of that. And like I said, and nowadays it's like, is it worth your life? Because
a lot of people are dying.
They're dying. They're mixing a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff, new stuff is going out. They're buying it over the line and over, And is it really?
It's an obsession, and it's turned into.
And it's obsession, it's addiction, and the judges, you got to get bigger. You got to get bigger. Instead of, I damn near just killed myself doing it this way. What you mean? Like how much more do I really got to suffer? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I said, sometimes I decided to take a step back and like, okay, let me just take a step back real quick, because like I said, I want to go ahead and do it my best, and sometimes it feels like
not good enough.
Yeah, not good enough. So, and like I'm that person, like I don't want to have ass do stuff. I don't want to have do stuff. Like I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna go hard with it. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, like I said, I am natural, and I'm just gonna. That's why I live by. I'm gonna keep it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So would you say, because there is this obsession when you're a bodybuilder, is it body dysphoria? Cash, can you type in definition of body dysphoria real quick? Do you think that it's an unhealthy obsession to a certain degree? Just like bulimia or anorexia on the opposite end of the scale.
It can be, because like I said, you get so obsessed of over a look, or you see somebody, like everybody's body is different. Everybody's gonna come in like, oh, I want his shoulders, I want his chest, I like how this is this look, and everybody's searching for this certain look. So
dysmorphia. I pronounced it wrong. Sorry.
Mental health disorder. Yeah. And that's why I said we speak on that. Like it could be a mental issue as well too, because you got to be mentally strong. Like you have to be mentally, not to, like it's just like any other addiction. Like you got to be mentally strong, or it will take over you. And that's where a lot of these guys are falling into. they go in this mental state of mind where, you know, they prepare, and then they feel like they fail when they're getting a certain place or something like that, and then it takes them down the road that they don't want.
Which is
yeah, it's definitely.
And it seems like you have that on lock, because the fact that the idea is there, but the fact that you want to stay a natural bodybuilder tells me that you have a very healthy perspective on bodybuilding.
Yeah,
It's still in. Like, okay, I love this. I'm passionate about this, but this is not my fucking. This is not gonna rule my life.
No, not at all. I don't. Like I said, I don't think it's worth. Like, it's not worth it. Especially, you know, you got eyes on you. All, you know, I got 6 set eyes. You know, like 8. Should have 8. My wife gonna kill me, but you know, I got 8 eyes on me. You know, they just looking at my every move, and it's like. And I preach it to them like hard work is gonna translate. They play in sports, they basketball killers. So, and I tell them like your hard work is gonna translate onto the court. If this is what if you want to start, if you want to be in a certain role you want to be in those games, you got to put in this hard work. And I'd be, a hypocrite if I go and do that. And like, that's not hard work. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's just I don't think. And like I said, it's a mental thing that you got to have on lock, and no matter what, pretty much no matter what you do. And I think going back to when we was talking about the racing thing, same thing. Like your mental game has to be strong. Mental game is not strong, man. Like you set up for destruction. So like,
self-destruction oftentimes.
Yeah, self-destruction for sure. And that mental issue is tough. I'll be lying if I never went through it, but I've been through it. And it's not a good place to be at.
Yeah.
And like I said, especially if you have family and you try to be a role model or be, you're head of a household, or if you just have eyes on you, like watching your every move, like you have to be strong. Yeah. And that's, it's tough.
Yeah. So, do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
No,
do you, I was going to ask so we're in this kind of age right now where, there's this level of masculinity, and then there's this other idea of toxic masculinity. What is that to you? What is the difference? Is there a difference? I mean, do you even allow yourself to feed into that shit?
It's hard not to, but like I said, especially with social media and all those things, you see it all. Like nothing's hidden no more.
Yeah.
Like, back and you got to go search for it. Now it's sitting there right in front of your face.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like, do you feed into those things? Do you listen to those things? Do you feel like you need to be with
validate?
To prove something or validate or something with that. And it's hard
because it seems like to society, like this woke nation thing going on, that they would look at bodybuilding as toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? Because it's people trying to be, I think to a certain degree, as long as we're within the healthy range, trying to be the best version of themselves. But then you have these people that are always want to play victim, always want to have an excuse to justify their own failure in their mind. So they shift it to us or you, and they look at us because we're strong, we're masculine, and now all of a sudden we're toxic because of that shit.
Yeah, and I get that all the time. You already know I get that all the time. I just, I go in there, and like I said, I'm just driven like that. I put my headphones on and it's go time. Like, people think I'm an asshole because I don't, talk to them and things like that. But it's just
you're in your zone,
right? I'm just in my zone and I'm ready, and like I'm locked in, ready to go. So, and then like you say, you get those, you think you're better than everybody and them things like that. No, I'm not. They don't think I'm better than everybody else. But I'm on a mission, and this is something that I got to be locked into. I've always been like that. Like I'm in a zone, and and I always believe like hard work, beats talent when talent doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I always believed like you got to put in the work, man. Like, and no matter how many hours, how many times of the day, like you got to put in that hard work, and the results will show. So it's just like, and it could be like I said, it could be toxic, and then like that's why I like the. That's another thing. That's why I like the Forever Strong in the private gyms, because just the vibe and just the energy that be in there is
like-minded.
It's so different than these commercial gyms. And you go to a commercial gym and everybody just think they gotta outwork somebody, outlift somebody, or egos and all those things, and they think. Yeah, it's just the vibe is just not.
Yeah.
The vibe is just odd, but
well, they're like meat markets, also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like a dating scene.
Man, that too, like, man, what we doing here, man? You know, and that's, like I said, that's another thing. Like, yeah, you just, you are who you put yourself around.
Yeah,
you are who you put yourself around, and how that it's all the energy.
Yeah. The vibe attracts the tribe.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah.
Good energy, bad energy. So, you got to put yourself around the best energy. That's what's going to take it to the next level.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
As a young black male, what is, and I know we've touched on racism a lot. We touch on struggles, but what would your advice be to other young black males as far as, and I don't mean your kids, I just mean in general. You see somebody on the streets that they think that they don't have anywhere to go. What's the ingredient for success as a young black male in this era, this time? We're in this weird area because it's like you got racism from every fucking side.
Yeah.
You got colored people racist towards white people, white people racist towards colored people, white people racist towards white people. Right. It's like, it's a thing.
Right.
It's a thing. Yeah. I mean, you got mixed kids.
Yeah.
What's the ingredient for success? And I know we touched on the mental drive, the mental thing, and let's touch on that a little bit more.
I think a real eye opener was last year or the year before, the Black Lives Matter movement, and them kind of things. Like, it kind of, it's like I said, you kind of like, I just got to survive for myself.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're always taught. Like, I survive for myself and the people around me. But when that occurred and those things it's been happening for over years and years and years. But the reason behind that was, like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Like the police brutality and those things.
Yeah.
This is a big problem. And then when everybody was coming together and to pretty much present this is a problem in this world, like, it really opened my eyes. Like, I really need to do more as well too.
Yeah.
To speak to young black men around here, or young mixed guys that are going through it, because I know how it feels to be alone. I know how it feels like, what do I do now? Like, I feel like, everybody's out here attacking me and those things. But I say, like, you got to look at it as every day, like, how can I be better? How can I be a better person? How can I shine light on other people and not being so, trying to get your own motor moving, but you can still put an impact on someone else's life. Yeah. And that's why I try to tell my kids, too. It don't matter, black, white, yellow, green, whatever, disabled, whatever. Be kind to whoever. Be kind to everybody. Yeah. Just because they're going through a struggle. We all going through different struggles, whatever. Yeah. But your impact, your smile, your good energy, your kind words to people can really enlighten people, and it really can. It could, and it really could get them out of their whatever they're going through. And so, and that's what I'm thankful and grateful for in the position I'm in now, just working with.
A support system.
Making
a support system, even out of strangers.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Black Lives Matter, and so would you look at Black Lives Matter as an organization as just a supportive organization, or do you think that they actually perpetuate racism, the divide? Mm-hmm. Because in my opinion and perspective, it seems like Black Lives Matters only comes in when it's something to do with white people, because you see all kinds of shit going on in black neighborhoods, and you don't see Black Lives Matter. They're helping. You hear you see the stuff that they're buying houses with the money that was donated, shit like that. Right. Isn't that a problem?
I mean, like I said, it's two. There's two. I want to say two different people, but two sides of to the story.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I'm not, like I said, you won't know until you actually live.
Yeah.
How these individuals are living,
Yes.
and so their mental mind is really messed up. So just living in those times and living in those, it really messes up their mind. So they're thinking one way, and then you got the people that, the black people that made it out and were able to see it and able to live in it, and now they're really trying to bring it to light and really stand behind, like, this is a problem, and then we need to help save the people that are lost in it as well too, like, and I feel like it was two different stories that was going on, and that's what got a lot of other races confused.
Yeah,
like, what is going on here? Are we out here for the destruction, or are we out here actually out here
to try
to bring awareness? So there was kind of two or both emotions going on.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of going on, and you had the pandemic as well too.
Yeah.
So people were just mentally all over
Fucked.
the place. Yeah, I feel like we were all just mentally all over the place. That's how I felt, and that's the way I looked at it. But when you got people saying, like, forget the Black Lives Matter thing, this and that, like, you gotta look at the bigger picture.
Yeah,
you gotta look at the bigger picture.
At the actual movement,
right?
itself.
Why is this happening, and why are people so upset of these things? You can't go back and look at it. People, well, their history is all bad. This is why that's happened to them. No, I don't care if you black, yellow, green, purple. Don't matter. Nobody's life does not. You don't take nobody's life.
Yeah,
they don't matter what they. It's just that's not
absolutely.
Up to you. It's not up
well,
to
and
you.
for me, you see all this defunding the police. Cash and I have had this conversation where you don't want to fucking defund the police.
Right.
You two people want to defund the police. The people who are fucking predators that don't want the fucking police around, and then you got the people who've never even known violence in their life. Those are the two fucking idiots that want to defund police.
Right.
What you need to do is fund the police. You need to get people that are fucking educated. You want to get better police officers, more emotional intelligence involved.
That's it.
And that's where it's like, it becomes like, oh my God, this is just a nightmare. This feels like a nightmare.
Yeah, I feel like there was never going to be an end. It's still going on to this day.
Yeah.
Never going to be. And it's the same thing with the police. They're not all bad.
Yeah.
And they're not all not all good. It's just that's just how it, and that's where both sides is happening.
Well, and that's where the discussions have to come in, rather than these whatever the fuck, riots and shit. Because that automatically, like the thought has entered my mind that black people like to be the term African American. For me, it's like, why? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Because you're American. You're and really, it's like, you're not a crayon. So why the fuck are we black? You know what I mean? Why the fuck? None of us in this room are the same shade of whatever we are. Right. It's like we want these labels and these definitions about each other, rather than being like, I'm Flex. You know what I mean? I'm Cash. I'm Mike. It's like, I'm this. I'm African American. Well, you're really not. You know that. If you look at my DNA, and I posted it on my Instagram the other day, I'm from fucking everywhere. you literally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, why and that's where the divide comes psychologically. I think when it comes to maybe like a racist white person, well, they're African, so they're not American anyways. I could see how the wheels turn, and it's like, for me, it's like, we got to get rid of these fucking labels. You know what I mean? I'm Flex.
Right.
Don't define me based on color. I'm not
define
a fucking
who
crayon.
I am. Let me give you, let me show you who I am, who I really am, and stop what what you think. You know what I'm saying?
By appearance,
right? That, exactly. And my mother taught me that too. Your first appearance is everything. So, yeah, it's definitely something we're just gonna have to. It's crazy. We got to deal with.
It's the life we're in right now.
That's just what it is.
The powerful position that you and I are both in is that we do have children, that are interracial, that are mixed. Right. We do have a generation that we can teach the beauty of all. Yeah. All aspects of life.
That's why, like I said, I speak to my children, and especially my oldest kids, that they are natural leaders. They are natural, and can be able to lead in this way, and be able to speak, and be able to enlighten, and be the positive into it. and especially, you know, they seen both sides, you know. They seen how my family is, they seen how, you know, my wife's family is. So it's like they see both worlds and they see how it is and they know what's right from wrong. So it's just
is both worlds that much different? Are they different in the sense of, okay, this is my white family and they're completely different than my black family? Is it like that?
They see it and they know, yeah, they most definitely do.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
I
not
just
at
mean,
all. They see the two differences, you know, and you know, they've been raised around, you know, my in-laws a lot, so, and then when they see my family, they see different things and they'll hear different, not in a bad way, but they'll hear different things, and you know, just how it's how we move a little bit, you know. It's just how it is, and then but they, like I said, my oldest daughter really like understands how it really is, and like how you really how to carry yourself, and really, it's really important to carry yourself and to be positive and just be that light, you know, and you know, not try to do, like I said, not make, you know, fun of people or you know, your peers will get into that, you know. Just be the leader and move away from that, you know, move away from those negative things, those negative thoughts, you know. So she's been doing a great job of that. So
good.
So just teaching love and acceptance within the household.
Yeah, and then, you know, you practice what you practice what you preach, and you know, kids, they are what they see, you know. They see it, they know it, they feel it, they know, and they you know, and it goes a long way. So it's something that, I say, they see it, but at the same time you touch on it. You touch on it and you speak to them about it, because, like I said, this is real life.
Because these are things you have to actually talk about.
Yeah, you have to, even though they're uncomfortable or not. Like, this is stuff we're gonna have to discuss. It's some stuff that you're gonna one day have to go through, and then, you know, you might go through it tomorrow. So this is the way you gotta handle things, you know. And sometimes, and like I said, I it was a time where I handled anger and rage and like, this is upsetting me and stuff. And but now you kind of look at it like, this is not what it is, but this is, I can handle it better in a better way, and I can handle it in a better situation, and I can not allow people to take me out of my character. And that same thing with them. Do not let people take you out of character or take your energy. If they got bad energy, don't worry about that. You know, let them have bad energy. Yeah, you just keep shining your energy, you know. So that's something that we just kind of, you know.
Which is mental strength, which you touched on multiple times.
Mental strength, being mentally strong and through any adversity you face. And that's something that, you know, you can spread that. You can kind of definitely spread that, and I think they're going to do an amazing job. And same with my wife, she's gotten better, even though she didn't have the best mental, you know, strength when we first met. Now it's definitely been on a big 360. She understands and kind of understands. A lot of times we be like, oh, I didn't see it that way. Oh, I see it in this way. So it's like, nobody's wrong, but she see it a different way. I see it a different way. Okay, that's
when you help each other.
But you kind of help each other in those sense. Like, okay, because obviously it's interracial, and you don't really, you see it in two different, you know, through two different eyes. And
well, Cash and I have talked about this on a couple occasions where everybody wants to change the world, but we can't change the fucking world. What we can change is our world. Like you and I are in charge of our immediate family, and how that resonates overall is going to affect other people, which is eventually, hopefully, going to change the world on a macro level. But you got to start at the micro level. You got to,
first. You can't have a dirty house and try to change the world. You know? Dirty, whatever. You know, you got to. Yeah, you got to be clean on the inside and the outside. You can't, before you do anything on the outside. Like I said, I think that's why that was one of my main goals this year. You know, I'm a back, you know, quiet, preserved kind of guy. I don't really, you know, I'll speak to you, but like, I don't really, you know,
go out of
my way. Yeah, go out of my way. So I'm trying to do better at that, and just really try to, you know, involve myself and be able to speak and be able to, you know, learn from other people as well too, and just, you know, just be able to, interact with more people.
I think that's a powerful position that, especially you as a black man, have.
Right.
That I feel like a lot of men of color and women of color, they stay guarded, and that's not going to help.
It's not.
It's not going to help when you don't open yourself up, become vulnerable, but also allow other people to be vulnerable with meeting you, knowing you. That's, you know, I don't know about your life story until I could sit in front of you and talk with you. And it's like if a person is so guarded all the time, that this, I could feel that energy. So I don't. Is this a safe person to be around? Type of thing.
Right. I feel like
it's hard for you.
It is,
not,
man.
You're probably an introvert, right?
Yeah. You just don't look at it that way, but you just got this protection over you. You got this shield over you, like, and it's just something that you just it grows on you a little bit. But then again, like, you got to step out your comfort zone and be able to, accept it and just,
you can help other people.
Right, you can. You definitely can with your story, with your journey, what you went through, or
just
what
your
you're
friendship.
going through. Just speaking, like, you never like. I started noticing that and started like, it's all right. Like, it's all right, man. And like, people,
again, it's a comfort zone.
It is.
But a comfort zone is a rut.
It is.
It can be a rut.
Right, it can be. It definitely can be. And like I said, you never know who you have a conversation with nowadays. Like, you meet somebody that you've been searching for this whole time. Like, it don't matter what it is. If it's has to do bodybuilding, family, or whatever, or they're going through the same thing you went through. Hey, I'm going through the same thing. That shit. Dang, okay. Yeah. It's a random person in the store, so it's like.
Well, and you never know what a kind word or even a smile in the moment that people are feeling, probably maybe sometimes at their worst. You can give them a kind word or a smile, and it completely changed
everything
where they were going that day.
Yeah, you don't know what they was going through that day. You don't know what they're going through this life. You don't know.
You gave them exactly what they needed, exactly when they needed. But you got to be open to that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something definitely. Yeah, I'm working on. Definitely working on, but
yeah, I have a hard time doing it too.
Right,
I've got positive
talker over here.
I've got positive minds, that I want to, or positive thoughts that I want to get out to people, and it's just I'm introvert.
Right.
I don't say it.
Yeah.
Like, I think when I first met you, he introduced us.
Yeah,
and I don't know how many times I've seen you.
Right. Say we did like a little something like that. Same thing. It was say like I didn't even know you was from Alaska. I didn't know where you lived. None of it. So it's like nobody really. There was really nothing there. It was just like nobody really. Who's gonna go first? Who's gonna say something first? It's kind of one of them. But
I've introduced so many people to so many other people in the gym alone,
which has a ripple effect too on individuals' lives.
Right, and as I say, you're vibing alone, man. Like you're vibing alone, so it's like it makes us feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, like we have positive thoughts. We have positive thoughts. That we keep it helps us, but it could help somebody else. It could help somebody else down the road. Like, I've been through that. I've been through these, hard times and stuff like that. But these positive things help me, get through things, and that can really, help somebody.
Well, and a lot of people, especially men, we feel like we need to carry the load.
Right.
We feel like we're not supposed to have these fucking feelings.
Right, at all,
you got to be a man. You got to be tough. You got to be, fuck that bullshit.
Right.
That's not true. We're going to have this shit. I'm going to cry if I fucking need to.
There it is.
But if you need to cry, I got a fucking shoulder for you to cry on. That's the thing. That's what men do. That's what men should do.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to have support. I have to have somebody that has my back. I have to have somebody I could vent to. But if you stay guarded, you're not fucking allowing that shit.
It's just and it just builds on yourself, and it makes it feel like you got all, just like you said, all this weight on your shoulders, and you feel like that you can't let it out. You have to let it out, or it's just gonna eat away at you, and it's just gonna make it worse. But like you said, if you don't have someone that judging what you're going through, or someone that's just gonna sit there and listen to what you're going through and just be that positive person, like, you don't know, that could be the shift in their life. So it's huge. It's huge. So
how do you teach your children to keep that positive mindset? I mean, I know it's a hard thing. You know, I got kids too, but for you and him, it's a little bit different because it's interracial. And I'm not just trying to bring up interracial, into it, but because we've talked about it a lot, but just children in general, your kids, how are you teaching them to keep a positive mindset throughout whatever struggles they're going through?
Yeah, I mean, they remind me of myself as well too. They're very quiet. They're very, they got kind of a shield over themselves too. They're kind of the same
introverted.
way. Yeah, I mean, and I kind of tell them the same thing. Y'all leaders, y'all don't even know it. You guys, everybody got all eyes on you. It don't matter what sport you play, what school you go to. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody is watching what you're doing. So they feed off what you're doing. You know, if you come with a different body language, if you come with a bad body language, it's going to be
setting the vibe.
It's going to set that, right? And you know, when you have that positive energy, you have that good energy. Like it's the same thing. It's going to be a positive effect on people. So I just tell them, like, yeah, you're gonna have emotions. Yeah, you're gonna go through things. Yeah, you're gonna a lot of things are gonna happen in your life. Yeah, you're gonna have bad games. Yeah, you know, people are gonna talk bad about you, but you kind of just have to reverse it and just try to think of the positive through it or whatever. Okay, why are these people talking about you? They probably see something they like about you. They admire something good about you. It's not, they ain't talking about it for no reason. So I'm like, hey, it is what it is. Like, but
jealousy is gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's like, you guys are beautiful kids, and you know what I'm saying, and this is gonna happen. They're gonna, and then, you know, like I said, I just try to set that example as well too. Try to set that example and try not to, even, you know, somebody cuts me off, or somebody's, you know, they see somebody being rude to me or whatever, I'll kind of like laugh it off, or somebody, they kind of see it, and so like I said, they're smart. They kind of understand it. And then, you know, if they go through it, I kind of just, you know, me and my wife too, she, you know, kind of talks to them through it as well too. I've been through this situation before. I handle it this way. This is not the best way. I want you to learn from my situations, and vice versa. So they kind of took ahead of that. We still kind of talk to this day, but I feel like they kind of understand now. And so, yeah, just trying to, and they see when I do meditate, you know, I do meditation. I do meditation. I watch.
Do they meditate with you?
They do not.
Okay.
You know, they think it's weird.
But they will eventually.
Yeah, I think they will too. You know, I was the point about, like, I ain't doing that. You know. Yeah. But you kind of understand. You got to kind of do your own. You kind of go through yourself. And I listen to motivational, you know, speakers as well too, and they kind of hear it and listen to it, and they just like, oh, okay. So they kind of see
the dots will connect eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think
cool. Might be years down the. Oh, my bad. See, that's why
you're fine.
Might be years down the road before they do connect the dots. But my son, same thing. You know, he'll be listening to, or I'll be listening to a podcast, and he'll ask a question like, "What does he mean?"
Right.
And I like that because he is listening. The kids are sponges.
They are. I mean? They are. Whatever they hear, they see, they soak it up, and then you know, they do what they do with it. So
you give them the tools. The thing is, I got fucking tools all over the place. It doesn't mean I'm going to use them all the time, but eventually I'm going to need that shit.
They're going to use it.
And that's what they have. They have the tools in the bag. Eventually, they're going to use that.
If they're curious about stuff, or they, you know, like I said, they got so much connections nowadays. It's crazy. So, and like I said, I don't know, like, they're special kids.
Yeah,
special
absolutely.
Kids. They're
absolutely.
Great. So I hope we can still set an example for them.
Well, you still are.
Yeah.
It always evolves. That's the thing. As they age, you also have to evolve as a parent.
Yeah.
And they're all different.
Oh, they are. They all are, man. But yeah, they're great. They're great. So, yeah, most definitely.
Going back to the connections, you know, that they have with social media, it's a blessing and a curse because there's people who've met their best friends, you know, online, never met them before physically or in person, but you know, because of the internet and social media and everything, it's
like
crazy.
It's both worlds. It's like, but at the same time, it's like,
it just is what it is.
This is the time we live in, and
so where do you see yourself from this point on? Bodybuilding is hopefully going to a professional level, but But that aside, where do you see yourself in 5 years and 10 years?
5-10 years, like, you know,
starting with 5. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your 5? So for my suggestion to everybody, you got to have a daily, a weekly, a monthly,
Most
a yearly,
definitely.
a 5-year, 10-year plan.
Most definitely.
All that shit. And
Right.
and I live by lists. I
Yeah.
write lists down. This is
Right.
what I want to get accomplished.
Right.
So I believe in planning,
Yeah.
living in the moment, but planning for the future.
Right,
What
right.
do you have in 5 years?
So 5 years, I just really, I want to be more successful I am today. You know,
Yeah.
I want to be able to the stuff I'm wishing on today and the goals I have today
Shall be accomplished in 5 years.
Definitely will be accomplished. And I definitely, like I said, I definitely want to open up. I mean, who knows if like I said, I want to be able to speak and talk. I don't know, maybe I'll be speaking in front of thousands of people
Oh, yeah.
one day. That's something that I never even thought of. You know what I'm saying? Right,
You are right now.
right. You know,
We got 3 listeners so
right.
far, but it'll get up there.
Right, so it's like, I mean, that's gonna be a goal. Like one day, I could be able to speak in front of a lot of people. Obviously, I wanted to be able to be financially even better, you know, situation and for my family and
Get debt free.
That's
That's the secret. Debt free.
Just be debt free.
Yep.
And
Debt free makes you a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, you can have all kinds of toys, but
Right,
you're not fucking
right.
debt free. You're not a millionaire. if you got
Right.
$1 million worth of toys.
Exactly. So it's like, and yeah, man, like I said, 5 years. I mean, my daughter will be in college by then, so hopefully, you know what I'm saying. So hopefully, she'll be doing great, doing those things, and just seeing my kids grow and be able to, and to be able to prosper and be able to, you know.
So what's
Just
10 years
grow.
look for you?
10
What's 10
years,
years look
10
like for you?
years, man.
And if you haven't even thought that far, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully not a grandparent.
Ooh, I don't want to think that far ahead, but I definitely want to, you know, travel the world. And like I said, travel the world and just
Okay.
I definitely want to be on an international stage one year.
Yep.
Couple years, and you know, like I said, I just want my voice to be heard, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know when, but
This is
you
where
know,
it starts.
Yeah, I
This
just
is
want my
where it
voice to
starts.
be heard, and hopefully I can help as many people and, you know, many humans as possible. You know, it
Yep.
doesn't matter if it's weight loss, it doesn't matter if it's speaking positive in their life, or it just matter of just being in their presence. Hopefully I can, you know. That's my purpose.
Good.
Hey, let's get it started.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, so we're gonna close it off with some rapid fire. We didn't write
Yeah.
anything down, so
There you
I'm
go.
gonna ask. Did you write
Oh,
something
I
down?
got a couple.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah. All
Just
right.
rapid fire. So just your first initial response.
Favorite protein?
chocolate fuzz. I like the whey protein chocolate fuzz. That's good.
What's your favorite exercise?
Favorite exercise would be rack pulls.
Oregon or Alaska?
Hey, it's Alaska, man. It's Alaska, man. But hey, I don't want to live there. But I like Oregon, but I like Alaska too, man. So nothing like home, man.
Pineapples on pizza.
No.
All right, we're gonna end that here. No.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Beach or mountains?
Beach from mountains. Beach.
Beach.
All right, who's the most influential person in your life?
I say, hey, my mom, you know, my mom and my pops, man, like they made who I am today. And, you know, like they set me up for what to expect in life. There's a lot of things I didn't understand growing up, but I started to open my eyes and really understand what they was really trying to set me up for, what they was really trying to install into me, you know. And the things they like I said, they try to set me up as best as possible, and they made who I am today. And so yeah, definitely my parents, man.
Who's the most influential bodybuilder?
As far as a bodybuilder,
Or who is the one that you were like, that guy's or woman?
yeah.
And it could be an amateur. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a professional.
It was Flex Wheeler.
Yeah,
Flex
yeah.
Wheeler was my
I remember
dude,
that
man.
motherfucker when I was a kid
Flex
too.
Wheeler was just
Oh, yeah.
like, and obviously, yeah, Flex, man. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, who is this
I
guy?
didn't
But
connect the
his,
dots, yeah.
yeah, but his,
Oh, yeah.
his posing and the way he just carries himself, still to this day, way he carries himself and way he just believes in himself and just knows, hey, I got a gift and I'm gonna show it.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of reminds me of myself as well too. Like, you got a gift, man. Like, Yeah, you got to. Hey, let's go, man.
Let's go.
No holding it back. So yeah, Felix Wilson.
Nice. What were you? Is there anything you want to close with?
It just like I said once again, if you haven't you don't know where to find the voting link, you can go on my Flexbox Wilson. You can go on my Instagram, my IG Flexbox Wilson. There is a voting link. I am in a competition for the Mr. Health and Fitness. That would be huge. So it all comes from the votes, and you can do it on my Facebook as well too. I got TikTok too. But Flexbox Wilson's everything. Just find that vote link. You can vote for free every day, every 24 hours. And I really appreciate all you guys' support, and everybody that has been supporting this far is huge, and I thank you. I appreciate it. And
when's your next stage competition, and where is it going to be?
Possibly local. Possibly in July. That's what we're aiming for. Like I said,
I'll be there.
Yeah. So check. I'll try to keep everybody updated. We're looking at the end of July though. In July, I'll definitely keep everybody updated. So
all right.
Yeah, we'll definitely have those links added, and then you can also, for every $1, I think it's a minimum of $10. You can also add additional votes.
Yeah. So one more thing about that. So the Warrior votes that you could add. All that those donations go to wounded veterans. Wounded veterans, they're building homes. They're building, which is very, very it's great donation.
Yeah.
If you are donating, it will help my rankings for one, and number two, most importantly, it would help those wounded soldiers that need homes, especially made homes for them in the wheelchair, especially made homes where they can move around.
So handy-capable homes.
And they're just building them left and right. So I think that's a really great cause. So if you do want to do a Warrior vote, that's where all those donations will go to, and I think that's a great cause. And like I said, it'll help my rankings and it'll help those wounded soldiers.
It's a win-win.
It's
a win-win.
Right,
Vote.
So go ahead, get out there and vote. Let's go.
Yes,
Team Flex.
All right.
Good.
Hey,
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you all for having me.